right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Tragedy in rural Missouri.
When it's young kids, it's really hurt.
Tonight, new information on a house fire that killed a mother and her 2 daughters. Bowling alley brawl. Fists thrown, people trampled, and shots fired. Tonight, the search in the Metro East for 2 gunmen. Plus, a push tonight to end a cannabis confusion in Missouri. The race against the clock for dispensaries and suppliers to keep edibles out of the wrong hands. We start tonight in a weather alert. Storms are moving our way, bringing the chance of heavy rain, winds, lightning, and hail overnight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson. Mike Bush has the night off. Since these storms are moving in while you will be sleeping, we want you to stay alert. So let's get straight to meteorologist Jim Castillo, who is tracking it all in the Weather First forecast. Jim.
Yeah, hi, Kelly. Just had that NOAA weather radio ready just in case one of these cells does go severe. Again, not expecting widespread severe weather, but an isolated cell with maybe some hail or high wind is possible. And I'll show you the radar coming up. It is 71 degrees. It's warm. It's breezy. South wind at 11 miles an hour. And boy, that dew point's way up there. We have enough moisture to work with. See the yellow polygon to the southwest of Rolla. That is a severe cell. And again, these have been isolated. You see the lightning south of really the Perry County, Missouri area, and then more cells even about Mexico, Missouri. I'll zoom in a little bit closer down south. So southern Phelps County, you're probably hearing a little bit of that thunder. We'll watch those cells. Again, more likely you'll see a little bit of hail out of those. And then Marquand, also south of Perryville. And then you go a little further north. Look at the brand new development just east of St. Louis in eastern Madison County, right along Interstate 70 to Bond County and Greenville, Illinois. And then a lot of lightning and thunder around Mexico, Missouri. That's just west of Pike County. So some of these are just beginning to develop, and we are expecting more widespread showers and storms. About 100% chance that all of us will at least hear some thunder, see some lightning, and get some heavy rain, and an outside chance of some of these becoming severe. Again, hail, the main threat with this. I'll time it out and check the radar again and main weather coming up in just a few minutes.
And you can get the latest Weather First forecast anytime. Text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we'll send it straight to your phone. Developing tonight, firefighters are battling a large brush fire in St. Clair County. The fire broke out just before 5 in a wooded area near Forest Boulevard and Brinson Drive. That's just east of Washington Park. People are asked to avoid the area. And we have an update on a large brush fire that burned last night in Fenton. Tonight, 2 firefighters who were injured are out of the hospital. Several people who were forced to evacuate off Saline Road are now back in their homes. No word on a cause. Tonight, we're learning more about a deadly house fire in Phelps County that claimed the lives of a mother and her 2 daughters. A 10-year-old boy was able to escape the flames. The fire broke out Saturday night on County Road 2120. That's just north of Rolla. New tonight, 5 on Your Side's Andy Krall spoke with the coroner who calls this investigation the worst of his career.
When it's young kids, it's really hurt.
A devastating fire in Phelps County. Dispatchers getting a call at about 10:45 Saturday night. This wood structure home with bricks on the outside destroyed. As you can still see Monday, the metal roof scorched and crumbled from the heat. Firefighters on the scene told Phelps County Coroner Ernie Coverdell the fire was so intense it wasn't safe for fire personnel to go inside to get to the mother and 2 daughters in the home. An off-duty Phelps County deputy who lives nearby immediately responded and saw a young boy standing outside what's left of the blazing structure. He stayed with the boy until paramedics arrived here while his family was trapped inside.
Mom may have got him out of there, which would be an amazing thing. And I would believe that Mom would try to get the kids out. I think it just happened so quick and went up so quick that she could only get him out. Probably went back in to try to get the other 2 and just couldn't make it.
36-year-old Jessica Lynn Sager and her 2 daughters, 14-year-old Cadence and 9-year-old Savannah, were killed. It took fire crews 6 to 7 hours to find all 3 victims, killed from what Coverdell shares was almost inescapable smoke inhalation. Their father not home at the time. Coverdell says he works in oil fields and can be away from home for weeks at a time. When we spoke with the coroner, he was on his way to meet with that devastated dad.
He has lost everything. Not only his family, but he's lost his home and everything they had. I mean, it's gone.
Crews still investigating how the fire started. Reporting in Phelps County, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
And if you would like to donate to the Surviving Son and Father's GoFundMe page, we posted a link in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. Tomorrow, opening statements will begin in a high-profile trial in St. Louis City. Jury selection wrapped up late this afternoon in the Daniel Riley trial. It's made up of 7 women, 5 men. Riley is accused of causing a downtown crash last year that caused Tennessee teenager Janae Edmondson to lose both of her legs. Her father is expected to be the first to be called to the stand. Janae will also testify during the trial. 5 on your side's Christine Byers will be in the courtroom this week. Look for her reports on air and on KSDK.com. 3 men accused of beating and holding a woman captive at a St. Louis church were also in court today. 5 on your side's Robert Townsend has followed the case for the past week and has the latest.
These are the mugshots of the suspects now accused of holding a young woman captive at Mount of Olives Ministry. Grace Capendo, his brother Munga Fungamali, and Pasi Harry are each charged with kidnapping and assault. Monday, the handcuffed suspects went to court.
I have a hard time believing that this case is still under investigation.
The woman told police last month the men kidnapped, beat, and held her against her will in a room at the South St. Louis church. Prosecutors say they have lots of evidence, including police body cam video that shows the woman identified the suspects as the men who attacked her the night a fasting service was underway at the church.
It is now my understanding that police did not go into the church and find this woman being held captive. Somehow she escaped, ran to a neighbor's house, and the neighbors called police.
The woman told police she was bound with ropes, only given water, and had to use a bucket as a toilet. She's now in protective custody at a hospital. Defense attorney Chris Combs represents Grace Capendo. He calls it a case of mistaken identity.
I've spoken to a ton of people that have not been contacted by law enforcement that are giving me a name of who did this, that also lived in the church. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
In court today, an assistant circuit attorney called the jailed suspects a threat to the victim and the community. In the end, all 3 men were denied bond.
I cannot fathom that they are guilty.
Arlie Singleton is the pastor of Friendship Assembly of God. He sent a letter to a judge supporting suspect Grace Capendo.
I want the truth to come out, and I want whatever is wrong to be made right. That is justice.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
The woman's mother, who also supports the 3 suspects, was in court today. Caught on camera, chaos inside a popular bowling alley in the Metro East, showing a large fight that broke out last night. The violence led to 2 innocent bystanders being shot. Tonight, police are still searching for the 2 people who fired those shots. This all happened around 10 o'clock last night at St. Clair Bowl. The 2 bystanders suffered non-life-threatening injuries to their legs. Tonight, Missouri marijuana suppliers and dispensaries are in the process of making some big changes to packaging specifically for the edibles they make and carry. This comes after an extra effort on the state's part to keep gummies out of the hands of kids. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski talked with people in the industry about this major effort. Laura?
Kelly, suppliers and dispensaries say implementing these changes has been somewhat difficult and very time-consuming. According to data released last year, there was a big increase in the number of kids exposed to edible cannabis like gummies. In 2017, there were only 207 cases across the country, but in 2021, it went up to more than 3,000.
No one in this industry wants these products to be in the hands of children. Just like alcohol, it's the same difference.
To combat the issue in Missouri, regulators made updates to the packaging rules. To name a few, the packages can only be one color, they can have up to 2 logos of different colors, and the word marijuana must be prominently printed on the outside. Then the suppliers have to get it approved by the Missouri Department of Health. Local supplier Camp Cannabis's compliance director says that approval process can take as long as 2 months.
It has been extremely challenging to deal with the evolution of these rules and trying to anticipate ordering packaging, especially when the majority of the industry gets much of their packaging from China, and then you have this Chinese New Year period where essentially the factories are shutting down for several weeks or a month at a time.
On the dispensary side, they now have to work on phasing out non-compliant products. Mint Cannabis's COO says it's something they've already been working on, and it's why you might see more discounts soon.
We ourselves have been ordering a little less for the ones that aren't ready, ordering a little bit more of the ones that are ready, trying to get rid of anything that's not going to be compliant after the date.
Attorney Dan Viets with Missouri NORML says these changes could be challenged in court because of rules spelled out in the Constitution, and some could argue packaging is a form of advertising.
The Constitution requires that restrictions on advertising for cannabis products be no more restrictive than the regulations and rules that apply to alcohol products. And it seems to me that those go far beyond that standard.
The current deadlines are one of the biggest challenges. Suppliers can't ship out any products with non-compliant packaging after May 1st, and dispensaries have until July 1st to sell off those non-compliant products. There is an extension coming, but those dates haven't been released yet, Kelly.
Thank you, Laura. Senior homeowners in St. Charles County and St. Louis City can now apply for a property tax freeze. Seniors 62 years and older are eligible if their property is worth less than $500,000. Applications are available online, in person, or by mail. We have all the info you need to know to apply in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com.
Tonight, new contamination concerns are coming to the surface in North St. Louis County.
If I was living on top of radioactive waste, or any contamination for that matter, I would want to know.
The testing underway for radioactive waste buried deep below homes. It can give you power in a pinch. But generators don't do you much good if they don't start. Tonight, we're helping you prepare your home for severe weather season.
And tonight we're watching the radar for the possibility of some isolated severe cells. Nothing severe yet, but a brand new thunderstorm popping up around Gasconade County and near Herman with lightning, thunder, and maybe some small hail. Much more on our forecast coming up.